Hey there YouTubers, and welcome to another pickups video. Today's pickup is not as big as normal, there's not as much stuff, but we do have a good variety of stuff for today's pickups. So let's get to another pickups video. Now, first thing on our pickups we picked up is a Sega Dreamcast web browser. Now this, for some of you out there who don't know what this is, this was the very first ever internet, like not internet like connection, more like internet browser, like search, like your Internet Explorers, Firefoxes, your Safaris, your Google Chrome, those things. This was first of its kind for any form of video game console. Now, what was cool about this? Well, for some of us, we couldn't afford a computer, so for the ones who couldn't afford a computer but had dial-up, had this as their internet, like their web browser. But some of us, like me, had an internet, had a computer, couldn't afford internet till way later, till broadband came out. So this is something cool. I've always wanted to have this as a kid, but I never got a Dreamcast as a kid because I had a PS1, and that was my thing that my parents told me, oh, I could only have PS1. I had my Atari, they said I can deal with that. So I always wanted a Dreamcast, but I never got one till now, and now I got this, which is pretty cool. This kind of reminds me that kind of brings back memories. I had a computer, never had internet. Until broadband came out in around 2004 was when my family got internet. Man, I'm gonna tell you this. When I was growing up, I didn't have as much money like a lot of these kids have today, and I didn't have a lot of freedom like a lot of these kids. So this is pretty memorable for me, and I ain't gonna open it up. I'm gonna leave it sealed. Next item on our pickups this week, we got Diablo 1. This one, games inside there, everything. This is very cool. I have Diablo 2 and the battle chest. I'm just looking to get the Diablo 3 collector's box set, and I finally got the original Diablo, which is pretty cool. This, this I picked up from a buddy of mine. They hooked me up with a good deal. It's another video game store that I deal with every so often or randomly on occasion, but I know the owners are like buddy of mine. They hooked me up with this because they knew in one of my videos I had Diablo 2 and I was looking for the first Diablo, so I appreciate the hookup. Really do appreciate it. Now, next, we're gonna move away from the video games and all that for now, and we will come back to it at the end because I'm gonna save the best for last. Now we're gonna move on to something completely different. I picked up, you know me, back here I showed you my CD collection, and I said I do collect vinyl records as well, which I should do collections. I should show you my vinyl and CD collections fully in one video one day, but that'll be later on. And I picked up 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. This is a very nostalgic album to me. Okay, my most nostalgic album is my Kiss album, which was a remake album of songs like Detroit Rock City, SEX, God, Thunder God, and Rock and Roll All Night, and I Was Meant for Loving You. Like, that album was my very first album. I loved it. This, very nostalgic, very memorable, because I remember the day this album came out, me and all my friends, we listened to this album like crazy. My friends owned this album. My parents never bought it from me because as a kid they thought, oh, too much swearing, but they said if your friends have it, go listen to it at your friend's house. And I remember this was the album that made me and my friends start buying CDs. At the beginning we were like, if we like it, if we get it, if we don't, we'll throw around here or there. But this album was the reason that me and my friends started collecting CDs and got really into music. And then later on came out the 8 Mile album and Encore for Eminem, which at that point really changed my perspective on music 100%. I really started getting more into music, more into collecting my CDs. And it's been probably like 2 or 3 years since I stopped because I put more money into my video game collecting, my video game store, and my YouTube and all that. So now that I've got more money again, I'm gonna start recollecting CDs and vinyls. So this is a really nostalgic and really memorable CD for me. Next on the pickups, we picked up a movie. You know me, I love horror films. I love the classic horror film. And I've said in one of my previous Con Bravo pickups that when I picked up the Resident Evil UMD movie, it's my favorite horror film of all time. But here I picked up a classic, the greatest known zombie film of all time and what started the zombie genre. The great George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead Collector's Ultimate Edition. Now look at that. It even still has the comic book in there, which is amazing. Look at that artwork. I have to say, of all the classic horror films, Night of the Living Dead, not counting the new stuff, just like classics, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like classic, I put Night of the Living Dead high up there. Like, look at that. Beautiful. I'm only missing the extended version of the disc. That's all I'm missing, but we got everything else in here. Got the European version, we got the documentary, and then we're just missing the extended version. That's it. Other than that, I have everything else in here, which is cool. Very cool. George A. Romero did come to Fan Expo this year, and I was planning to go get this signed, but I was kind of an idiot. I stayed, and here's something else. I didn't even get a booth for my shop at Fan Expo, which I feel a little bit dumb because people were making money left and right there. I could have gone there, made money as well. I could have met George A. Romero and have him sign this, because, man, he's like in his 80s, man. The guy probably never come again. But hey, very good find. Very good find, especially the fact that the comic book is still in there. Now, the final item in our pickup is the best pickup for this week. Not the best pickup of all time. Well, in my... Okay, here. The best pickup I've ever... The best find. Best pickups I've ever picked up ever. This is near complete. Like 99% complete. Just missing the box. That's all it's missing is the box. And that is 2 sets of Commodore 64s. We got here this is how complete the Commodore 64 is. We got the Commodore test demo, which is what the floppy it comes with. We've got Expeditions. I don't know what this is, but I think either it came with it or didn't come with it, but regardless, we got that. It came with the certificate, warranty. It had the Commodore 64C booklet. What is this? Damage paper if anything gets damaged. We've got the manual for the Expeditions for the Commodore 64. We got here the Commodore user guide and the Commodore color video monitor users, which very good because I have the monitor right there. So this is very good for my monitor. We got the Commodore Quantum Link. What is it? The Quantum Link users guide with some of these stickers and tabs and all that, which is good. most of these papers, normally most of these papers, manuals, user guides, booklets, and how-to books normally get thrown out immediately once somebody learns how to use a computer. So this is pretty good. And then this giant book, which is very good, learning how to use the Commodore 64, which is amazing. And what's even amazing is there's no writing inside it. Most people will write inside these books. They'll answer questions in here. Now, let's go grab the Commodores, because there's 2 sets of them. First, we'll show up, we got these, which are inside there, are the plugs for them. This is for one of them, this is for the other one to plug into your power base or monitor. Now, we've got here, this is where I say it's 99% complete. The floppy drive for the Commodore 64. Normally these are sold separate when they first came out. So you'd have to buy the keyboard, which is most of the time your power, the monitor, some of them like the Amiga and the Amiga 2 and the Commodore 128. Those had a power base on their own, but like Commodore 64, the power base is the keyboard. This is the floppy drive for the Commodore 64, which is amazing. It's that complete. I have 2 power boards of the 2 floppy boards for each of my Commodores, but this is what they look like, exactly the same. Now, the 2 Commodores the Commodore 64s that I've gotten are different models. They're not exactly the same. They're different model 64 looks. We have this, which is the original Commodore 64. Now this is a great condition. Like, look at the amazing. This is my favorite known Commodore. This is my favorite Commodore machine computer of all time. For computer-wise, I like my Apples more, but my Commodores, I love the Commodore 64. Now, the second model for the Commodore 64 I have is this. Don't mind this little button here. It fell off when I was picking it up. The button's over there. I just got to stick it back in. It's not that hard, but yeah, this one is the Model 2. The first one I showed you was Model 1. This is Model 2, which is very good for the condition that it's in. It's very good. Now, where I picked this up, it was a collector. He wasn't really a serious collector. He just happened... Let's say he's more of a hoarder than a collector. But he knew somewhat of value. He just used to, back in the day, whatever he'd buy, he would just keep them and leave them in a room. After he stopped using them, he'd leave them there. And it's been there for a while. But I tested them. I made sure they worked. They all worked because, you know, knowing hoarders, they let it dust up, they let it rot up, they let it rust up, stopped working. But this hoarder was sort of like a hoarder type collector where he used to hoard anything he keeps but keep them nice like a collector. So I got a really good deal on him as well, so that is amazing. All in all, my most favorite pickups of all up to this date is finding 2 Commodore 64 sets, 99% complete. So, what do you think of this week's pickups? What do you think of finding the Commodore 64s like that complete? What do you think of the music and the movies that I picked up? Comment in the comment section below your thoughts to this week's pickups. And before I sign off, let me end this off with a question for all of you out there. What do you guys think of the old Commodore computers? Do you think they're great? Do you like them? Do you still use them? And now question 2 is, what kind of media do you like better? Do you like your consoles? Do you like your computers? Let me know. What media do you like for playing games? Your console or your computer? Let me know in the comment section below your answers to the question. Question 1. What do you think of Commodores? Do you think they're great computers? And question 2, what do you like better, console gaming or computer gaming? Let me know in the comment section below. And now, as always, enjoy life and keep on collecting.